Hello and welcome to this special show where we pay tribute to the heroes of the Kargil War, a befitting reply that was given to the Pakistani regulars and the terrorists. The grit and determination and the valor of the Indian soldiers was simply exemplary. In the summer of 1999, the pristine mountains of Kargil became an unsuspecting battleground. In an act of deceit and aggression, Pakistani troops and mercenaries infiltrated across the line of control and occupied strategic heights on the Indian side. Their sinister aim to sever Kashmir's link with Ladakh and force India to concede on the Kashmir dispute. Little did they know that this misadventure would spark an unwavering response from India's valiant armed forces. The infiltration by Pakistani forces was a blatant violation of the Shimla Agreement and the recently signed Lahore Declaration at that time that committed both nations to resolving the Kashmir issue peacefully. The audacity of Islamabad's betrayal left India stunned, but resolute in defending its territorial integrity. As Indian forces mobilized to evict the infiltrators, stories of extraordinary courage and sacrifice emerged from the front lines. Leading the charge were the valiant heroes like Captain Vikram Batra, whose indomitable spirit and leadership inspired his men to scale unimaginable heights of bravery. On June 19, 1999, Captain Batra's Delta Company launched a daring assault to recapture the strategic point 5140 from the heavily fortified Pakistani positions. Captain Batra, fondly called Sher Shah, led the men through a barrage of enemy fire, scaling near vertical rocky cliffs. His courageous battle cry, Yeh Dil Maange More, reverberated across the peaks as his company inflicted heavy casualties on the enemy, capturing vital bunkers and positions despite facing overwhelming odds.
My company's success was Yeh Dil Maange More. The guys were so highly charged up that they're wanting that some more bunkers should have been there and we would have got the more chaps.
But Captain Batra's heroic saga was tragically cut short when he was struck by the enemy fire while rescuing an injured officer. Captain Vikram Batra's supreme sacrifice inspired countless other acts of valor across the front lines of Kargil. Soldiers like rifleman Sanjay Kumar, who sustained grievous injuries during the Battle of Turtuk, but refused to retreat. Even while bleeding profusely, he provided crucial covering fire, allowing his comrades to regroup and fight with renewed determination. As the battle intensified, the Indian Air Force joined the fray, playing a pivotal role with its precision strikes on enemy positions. The Air Force aptly called it Operation Safed Sagar. Daring IAF pilots braved enemy fire and treacherous terrain to soften the infiltrators' defenses, paving the way for the army's advance. Perhaps the most symbolic victory came with the recapture of the formidable Tiger Hill, a key position overlooking the vital Srinagar-Leh highway. On July the 3rd, after days of fierce combat, the Indian Army launched its final assault under a hailstorm of enemy fire. Each step upwards was like entering the jaws of death as the enemy pounded them mercilessly. But the Charlie Company of the 8th Sikh Regiment kept moving forward, driven by an unbreakable resolve to hoist the tricolour on Tiger Hill's peak. Against all odds, they finally captured the summit on July 4, 1999, an image that became etched in the national consciousness as a symbol of India's unwavering spirit. From the icy heights of Tololing and Batalik to the towering ridges around Dras, Indian soldiers fought with astounding grit and courage. Over 3 arduous months, they battled inhospitable terrain, hostile enemy fire, and threat of escalation between 2 nuclear powers. But their determination never wavered. Finally, on July 26, 1999, after a series of decisive battles, the Indian Army had successfully evicted the last remnants of the Pakistani infiltrators, bringing the Kargil conflict to an end. India's armed forces had achieved a resounding victory against the treacherous aggression of its neighbor. The Kargil War highlighted India's policy of upholding sanctity of the line of control, while showcasing its military's capability to defend every inch of its territory. The nation celebrated the resolution and spirit of its soldiers, exemplified by the heroics of Captain Vikram Batra, Rifleman Sanjay Kumar and countless other bravehearts. 25 years later, as India commemorates its historic victory in Kargil, the nation pays tribute to its brave sons who made the ultimate sacrifice and draws inspiration from their extraordinary tales of courage against overwhelming odds. The Kargil conflict was not just a military victory but a powerful affirmation of India's mettle and spirit in defending its territorial integrity at any cost.